I've spent a lot of time on this channel discussing nerdcore music. We've ranked several fan songs based on Mascot and indie horror games, and for the 10th FNAF anniversary I even analyzed some of my favorite FNAF songs ever a little deeper. I've also talked about songs made for indie horror games, and even FNF once or twice. I love talking about music based on the goofy horror games I play for this channel, so today I am simply going to talk about some of the greatest Mascot horror-based nerdcore music I've heard in my time dissecting the scene. There will be a variety of games and subjects, but they will all be indie horror games that you are familiar with. This is going to be a fun and simple video, so let's jump right into it. Let's start off with some Bendy, because we all love some Bendy. Bendy fan songs are arguably the most consistently enjoyable Mascot horror songs. They're always very stylized and interesting. One of my personal favorites is Blood and Ink by Nate Wants to Battle. You guys say I don't talk about Nate enough, so here you go, this is a top 2 Nate Wants to Battle song in my book. First of all, the vocal effects on this track are perfect. Nate is going for an old school radio presenter type of voice, and he just makes it so sick and grimy on this song. His vocals are incredible, and he really plays the character effectively. The instrumentation on Blood and Ink is mind-boggling. The guitar riff is one of the hardest I've heard in the nerdcore space, and it turns this track into a hardcore rock and roll banger. But that's not even mentioning the way the piano seamlessly blends in with the track and is so mesmerizing and gorgeous in its own right. This is such a perfectly crafted nerdcore rock song that hits so hard. It's also worth mentioning that this song was made when there was only one chapter of the original Bendy out, so there wasn't much to go off of, and the lyrics are pretty damn good when you take that into account. They're obviously a little vague, but it's essentially all about how we'll eventually give ourselves up to the ink machine, and it's pretty interesting. Blood and Ink is just such a huge banger with so much to love about it, and it's one of my favorite Bendy songs. But let's talk about my absolute favorite Bendy song. That would be Children of the Machine by CG5 and DA Games. I don't even know where to start with this one. I guess I can start with how beautifully and perfectly the song captures the themes, aesthetics, and overall feeling of Bendy and the Dark Revival. This track is from multiple perspectives, most notably the Children of the Machine, the creations of Joey Drew and Co. It follows them coming to the realization, or at least processing what they are and where they come from. It's weirdly dark and sad, and that's expressed through the sound as well. Children of the Machine is a very sweet, sad, and somber song. The instrumental sounds like a children's music box, and CG5's vocals are very light and gentle. It's a very soft-sounding song, and that aesthetic just really fits the gravity of the situation portrayed in Dark Revival. DA Games' part is excellent as well, and voices the perspective of Joey Drew, who's both an antagonist and protagonist in the Bendy series. It's more energetic and definitely more fast-paced. It really sounds like how I imagine Joey Drew would feel about all of this. I also really love the pencil and a dream line, it's just really cool. This is a gorgeous track that represents Bendy so well, and I genuinely adore just about everything about it, from the production choices to the vocal performances. Now let's talk about a song based on my favorite horror game of all time, Doki Doki Literature Club. Yes, Doki Doki is not Mascot horror, it's just a title, get over it. The One in Control by Rosie Sapphire Music follows a similar structure to most Doki Doki songs. Every character from the game gets a chance to express themselves, and they're all voiced by a different singer. I love that structure, and I think it's done very effectively on this song. The song starts off with a hardcore and fun instrumental before transitioning into a verse from the MC, main character, who is actually played by CG5. This verse, much like the rest of the song, is very cute and essentially just describes what actually happens in the game. Normally I'm critical of nerdcore songs that simply describe what happens in the game, but I feel like it's done especially well in this song, and it also works better with Doki Doki as it's a visual novel where story and character is everything. After CG5's verse as MC, it transitions into Sayori's verse, who is played by Cryfuse. Sayori's voice is excellent in this song. I'm very picky about how the Doki Doki girls are portrayed as such a big fan of the game, and I'm content with how Sayori sounds in this. She sounds cute and likable, and the lyrics are also very fitting and are very sweet. Sayori's verse transitions into the chorus, which is done from Monika's perspective, who is voiced by Lulu Gray. This chorus does a really good job in portraying Monika as a villain, which despite how sympathetic she is ultimately a villain. She exclaims that she is the one in control, which makes for a great hook, and also just fits what happens in the game. Yuri has the first verse after the chorus, and she is voiced by the Onydex. She's portrayed as her timid yet crazy self, and I absolutely love her. I just wish her verse was longer, it's very short. Natsuki's verse quickly arrives after Yuri's, and she's played by Indigo Sorgi. And with all due respect, this is the only verse I have a problem with. Natsuki's voice is just too deep and serious to make me think of the original iconic cutesy character, but the writing is good. This song is just such a nice and exciting portrayal of the Doki Doki cast, with so many voices contributing to the project. This song has so much charm. Firstly, something I really like is that Sayori, Yuri, and Natsuki sound more robotic, whereas MC and Monika sound like straight-up people. It somewhat differentiates the type of characters they are. Sayori, Yuri, and Natsuki are not real, MC is real, and Monika is technically real and sentient. It's just interesting. But fun fact, according to a comment left on one of my live streams from Rosie Sapphire Music, the person who wrote, produced, and crafted this song, the character sounding robotic was not intentional and not a clever tactic, it's just a happy accident. Also, according to that comment, they made this song when they were 13, which is absolutely fucking insane. Like, this is an incredible song to piece together at 13 years old, and also, how do you get CG5 on your song at 13 years old? That's very funny and impressive. Anyway, I adore this song. I think the instrumentation is booming and epic, every verse is well written and performed well, and the interpretation of the characters is great. Switching to a different game, one that actually fits the title of the video, let's talk about Poppy Playtime. Poppy Playtime songs are low-key underrated. They're nearly as consistent as Bendy songs. I want to start off by talking about What Makes Me Tick by JT Music, which I have previously claimed to be my #1 favorite nerdcore song of all time, and it might honestly still be. Before I get into what this song is about or anything having to do with the lyrics, I just need to express how aesthetically, stylistically, and sonically distinct this song is for the nerdcore space. You will not find many tracks that sound like this one. It's very pop-centric and incorporates elements of much more niche genres like hyperpop. It's fucking awesome and produced ridiculously well. It's so cute but also epic and grandiose, it's just a one-of-a-kind nerdcore song. What Makes Me Tick is also sung by Andrea Storm Caden, who is kind of the unsung hero of nerdcore. This person has performed so many incredible nerdcore songs, and they're honestly deserving of so much more credit and recognition because their voice, their skills, their range are all so impressive and top tier. But the writing on this track is also phenomenal. This is such an excellent nerdcore track because its lyrics are easily applicable to Poppy Playtime, but can also be interpreted in other ways, and it stands as just being a good song. The song is from the perspective of Poppy, and it's essentially all about the abuse and mistreatment of dolls, which is so genius because it's literally from the perspective of an actual doll, and the whole game is about experimenting on and abusing these toys and inanimate objects. But what makes it so smart is that it can be interpreted as the abuse and mistreatment of people, more specifically women. This song actually reminds me a lot of Bella Porch's Build-A-Bitch, which if you don't remember, revisit it because it's actually really great. This song is shockingly well written, shockingly well produced, and just overall amazingly crafted and a standout nerdcore song. I'm obsessed with it. Sticking on the topic of Poppy Playtime, let's talk about another great track based on the game, this time by CG5. Poison Blooms is, in my opinion, one of CG5's greatest performances and most well-crafted songs. This is a very atmospheric song, and CG5's gentle vocal style works so well with that more spacey and soft aesthetic. The chorus is easily my favorite part, where CG5 is singing individual lines that are interrupted by the phrase playtime. This sequence of writing always ends with the line, "Isn't this entertaining?" which is so catchy and mesmerizing. I genuinely think CG5 sounds absolutely fantastic on this song, and more in his element than he does on a lot of other songs. This style just really suits him. The harmonizing is angelic, and the moments where the instrumental is really quiet and subdued, and have you really focus on his vocals, are truly stunning. This is just a really well done atmospheric Poppy Playtime song where CG5 sounds so natural and comfortable, and it's a great listen. But who really cares about Bendy or Doki Doki or Poppy Playtime? You're here because you want me to talk about FNAF, Freddy Fazbear, Freddy Five Night. And for the record, there are a lot of FNAF songs that quote-unquote blow my mind. Go check out this other video I made about a bunch of incredible FNAF songs if you want to hear me talk about more of them. Today, I'm just going to talk about what has become my personal favorite FNAF song, and it's a bit of a weird one. It is Back for Another Bite by JT Music. JT Music's vocals on this song are the best I've ever heard from him. His raps are so clean and the grit in his voice is so grimy and cool. And when he sings, it's genuinely great. He sounds like a rock star. When he sings "Late nights are fine by me, in the daylight I hide my teeth, when I play nice you might not see this coming," he sounds so goddamn good. His vocals are so visceral and cool. And there's so many catchy moments in this song, a lot of which are references to older JT Music songs, which makes the track really nostalgic as well. The chorus going "nya nya 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 nya" is so unbelievably silly, but it's also cute and catchy. Like, you can roll your eyes at it, but you can't deny that you're also rocking out to it. I also love the little interlude in the middle where it interpolates 5 More Nights by JT Music, and it goes, "'Cause when I come to life, you got no place to hide." It's so nostalgic and gives me an easy boost of serotonin. It's amazing how this song is so nostalgic and fresh at the same time. That's what makes it so good. There's also some fantastic bars on this track. Every remnant of any family fun was scooped out. Come on, that's straight up genius. I think what I love about this song is that on first listen, it just sounds like a cute little FNAF rap, but when you dissect everything that's said and the structure of the song and the production, you come to find it's actually an expertly crafted song with so many layers. I just love this song so much, from the goofy and playful hook, to the genuinely well-written bars, to the great performance, to the hard-hitting beat. It's just so fun. So those were some nerdcore songs that I really love. I guess let me know in the comments what Mascot horror-centric songs you're really attached to. If you want more content like this, first of all, like and subscribe. But also, I already have 2 YouTube shorts counting down my 5 favorite Bendy songs and my 10 favorite FNAF songs. And like I said, I have a full video about incredible FNAF songs. I have a full video about songs that appear in indie horror games. And I've covered some Friday Night Funkin' songs as well. So, go check those out. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.